Mr. Smith, a big-shot politician, was making headlines. Then, out of the blue, the opposition leader decided to take things up a notch and hired a contract killer to target Mr. Edwards. Fast forward to the next day. A massive rally was organized for Mr. Edwards. Little did they know, a gangster had a sinister plan in mind. He sent one of his crew members to take out Mr. Edwards. And this guy was all incognito, trying to blend in with the crowd. But here's the kicker. The police got wind of the situation. They started to do some detective work, and guess what? They stumbled upon 3 shady characters in the mix. The inspector decided to get the lockdown on those suspicious folks. The first one claimed, "I'm Mr. Edwards' bodyguard, just here to scope things out." The second character went all James Bond and said, "I'm a spy agent," and even flashed some ID to the inspector. The last person in the trio claimed to be a stadium security guard. Now, here's the plot twist. The inspector quickly figured out who was pulling a fast one. Can you guess who was trying to be someone they weren't? The answer is the guy who claimed to be a spy agent. He slipped up by revealing his identity. And you know spy agents are supposed to be all hush-hush about that stuff. So that's the scoop on this crazy tale. After a rousing rally, the minister was heading to the White House. But here comes the twist. Out of the blue, 2 cars started tailing him, giving him the heebie-jeebies. In a daring move, the minister decided to throw them off his scent. He veered off the usual path and ended up deep in a forest. As luck would have it, his car gave up the ghost, leaving him stranded. With no other option, he embarked on a quest to find his way on foot. Imagine his relief when he stumbled upon an old house in the distance. It was like a beacon of hope, with its lights shining brightly. So he made a beeline for the house, desperate for some shelter. But here's the catch. The entrance was locked tight, and it seemed like you needed a password to get in. Now, here's the big question. What do you think the password was? Yep, that's the magic word that opened the door and led our minister to safety. So sometimes the simplest solutions are the way to go. Stay tuned for more intriguing stories and be sure to hit that subscribe button. Mr. Edwards ventured into a mysterious house, and his journey took a peculiar turn. He made his way to the main switchboard and, with a bold move, turned it off. Now here's where it gets really interesting. Mr. Edwards found himself standing in front of 3 doors, but only one of them could lead him to safety. Behind the first door lurked a hungry lion who hadn't had a meal in 150 long hours. The second door concealed a dangerous carnivorous dinosaur, and the suspense is off the charts. Lastly, behind the third door, there was a river with shockingly turbulent waters. Now the million-dollar question. Which door should Mr. Edwards choose to make a grand escape from this house of mysteries? The answer, my friends, lies with the third door, the one with the shocking water waves. Why, you ask? Well, here's the scoop. Mr. Edwards was quite the thinker. By turning off the electricity in the house, he rendered the water in the river harmless and lived to tell the tale. Kudos, Mr. Edwards. So he smartly opted for the third door. All the railway ticket collectors were on strike, taking a stand against the big railway corporation. Now enter Mac, a clever character. He thought to himself, why bother with a ticket? And boldly hopped onto an air-conditioned train without coughing up a single cent. But hold on to your hats. Fate had a surprise in store. The vigilant station guard began checking passengers' tickets, and Mac wasn't getting off the hook either. The guard asked Mac for his ticket, and that's when things took a mysterious twist. Mac had quite the creative excuse up his sleeve. He claimed, I did have a ticket, but when I opened the window, a gust of wind carried it away. However, the inspector saw right through the ruse. He immediately recognized that Mac was telling a tall tale and slapped him with a hefty $200 fine. So, the burning question is, why did the inspector fine Mac? The answer to this conundrum lies in Mac's story. He said he opened the window, but here's the kicker. He was riding in an air-conditioned train, and those windows don't open. Mac's fib was clear as day, and that's why he ended up with that hefty fine. Last week, Ronnie jetted off to Iceland for a vacation getaway. Excited for adventure, he decided to go hiking once he arrived. However, things took a turn for the worse when he got lost during his hike and accidentally wandered into a perilous forest. In the heart of this forest, he encountered a critical decision point. 3 paths stretched before him, but only one would lead him to safety. The clues were intriguing. The first road had visible footprints. The second way led alongside a river, but the catch was that it was infested with crocodiles. The third path was surrounded by towering mountains. So the big question is, which path should Ronnie choose to find his way out of this forest? The answer to this wilderness conundrum is as follows. Ronnie should opt for the second way. Why, you ask? Well, it's the winter season, and that means the upper layer of the water is frozen. This allows him to walk safely across the frozen river without encountering those menacing crocodiles. Stay tuned for more brain teasers and stories on this channel, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button.